Hey there, I'm Lee Ullman here with some big news from the National Young Farmers Coalition. We're partnering with Heritage Radio Network on a special season of The Farm Report. It's all about what's happening with the Farm Bill and how it impacts farmers and eaters.
I am growing diversified vegetables on land that's been in our family for 150 years.
And so with the pandemic, gentrification, property values going up, we had to sell the land and we lost it.
Join us as we uncover the untold stories behind this massive piece of legislation that shapes how we grow our food, what we eat, and so much more.
The problems we have had, those are things that come from earlier Farm Bill and USDA policy, right? Like Earl Butz, get big or get out.
You know, it's my responsibility to know not only what I'm eating, but then like how that all came to be. And realize like, wow, like this piece of legislation, all this money, like it's technically something that I support as a taxpayer.
While Congress debates the next Farm Bill, this is not just an invitation to listen. It's a call to action. Be part of the conversation. Subscribe to the Farm Report on Heritage Radio Network, wherever you listen to podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Roberta's, home of Heritage Radio Network for 10 years. Learn more about Roberta's at robertaspizza.com.
This week on Meat and Three, we're exploring food for the eyes, how the art and culinary worlds collide.
It's incredibly elaborate. It's a feast for the eyes, a banquet dinner with garnished ham, turkey, and an array of accompaniments.
We shot baguettes with like paint dripping off of them with the blue, white, and red from the French flag.
Oh, what did the student tell me? They said the camera eats first. And it's so true. It's so true.
Tune in to Meat and Three, HRN's weekly food news roundup, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hello and welcome to Snacky Tunes. I am one half your host, Darren Bresnitz. We are so excited this week to be sitting down with LA Times journalist and host of the upcoming Bucket List, a show all about fried chicken, Jenn Harris. We talk about how the show came to life, her lifelong career in journalism, and the hunt for that perfect piece of crispy fried chicken. Then we dig deep, deep, deep into the archives for one of our favorite performances in the early 2010s, 2010-aughts, however you want to say it, with Hands, who our good buddy Sean Hess played drums in, who we saw at South by Southwest, and then we invited on the show. It's a fantastic throwback to an era gone by. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Snacky Tunes here on heritageradionetwork.org.
We talk about food, we talk about music, with musical dudes, finger on the pulse, Snacky Tunes.
Hello and welcome to Snacky Tunes. I am one half your host, Darren Bresnitz. We are here with Jenn Harris, senior food writer and video host of the LA Times. Welcome to Snacky Tunes.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. So you have been working or involved with journalism for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Starting in, I assume, college, but even before that, did you get into journalism in high school? What drew you into that pursuit?
I mean, I've always loved writing.
Sure.
When I was little, I made my own magazines. I was super nerdy.
What was the name?
Is Jenn's Mag.
Classic.
Yes, very forward thinking. But no, I've just always been into writing and reading and media. And in high school, I dabbled in some yearbook, but we didn't really have a newspaper or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got to college at UC Irvine, I started writing for the New University, which was our school newspaper at the time, and was writing also. I actually went to UC Irvine because they started a literary journalism program. So just been into it.
So it's always been something that's drawn to you that you could see dedicating your life to.
Yeah, I mean, my parents thought that I would not make a living at it and were kind of hesitant and were kind of pushing me in the direction of law.
Sure.
So
they're like, there's also writing in law.
Yes. They were like, there are so many other things you could do and make a living and we won't have to support you forever. But I have been able to make a living at this, which I've very fortunate. But yeah, I just wanted to go for it.
I mean, not to besmirch writers, but you had the writing part, but then also an application to that writing as an idea of a professional pursuit.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of that, when I graduated UC Irvine, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like most people when they graduate college, I was like, yeah, I can write. And I've worked for a couple places, but I didn't have the reporting chops that I think and I know you needed to be an actual journalist. So that's why I went to grad school. I ended up at Annenberg at USC for a 2-year program. And they, the first week of school, they dropped me on Skid Row, out of a van with 6 other students as an orientation thing. And they were like, do a story. Didn't give us any parameters. They're just do a story. We'll come get you in a little bit. And then you had to basically present a pitch later that day.
Interesting.
To the rest of the 60-plus person class.
Was there a lesson you learned in that moment that you still follow today?
There were a lot of lessons in that moment. And I mean, one being, you are always going to be uncomfortable. You just have to deal with it. For me, I think as a journalist, I'm constantly putting myself in really uncomfortable situations and asking people questions maybe they don't want to talk about, or just being weird. And I feel when you get dropped off on Skid Row and you're like, do a story, and you're just like, what the fuck? Am I you know what I mean? Sorry, can I curse?
Absolutely.
Okay. But you just kind of have to be okay, I can do this. Just be confident and be prepared to talk to strangers and just be okay with being uncomfortable.
It's so interesting that you say that, because so many professional journalists, reporters do have this air of confidence of chasing a story, being like, I know where I want to go, or I have, if not know where the story leads, but I know the story I want to tell or hope to tell. And it's amazing to hear that part of that is masking a sort of uncomfortability and I don't want to say insecurity, but an insecurity in the I'm putting myself out there in a way that is part of the professional rigors of the job.
Yeah, and I feel like I've learned to be more confident, obviously, over the years. But yeah, at the heart of it, you're like, oh, I got to go talk to the stranger right now. You'll do your research and about them, but it's just a little uncomfortable sometimes. So you just have to deal with it.
Yeah, it's funny to have that feeling going into a conversation when you're like, I'm prepared. I know what I want to talk about. I don't know how to feel about myself. Where am I going to put my hands? What am I going to ask them? Are they going to be mad at me?
Yeah, it's just natural feelings, but that first day, and just also don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah, they want to say no.
Yeah, exactly. The worst they can say is no, and then what?
Well, they could say worse than that.
Well, they could technically say worse than that.
It's still a version of no, just a little bit ruder.
Yes, but it's just and then you're like, okay, I'm still okay. It didn't work out. It's the next one. It's okay.
So, food journalism has always seemed to be a part of what you have written about. with a quick cursory glance at your LinkedIn page, food or entertainment or restaurants has always been there. What drew you to that so early on in your career? Because this is, mid-2000s, food journalism isn't what it is now. But what made you gravitate towards that?
It's stuff I like. And I know that's probably a boring, really simple answer.
No.
But honestly, when growing up, that's what I love food. I was constantly surrounded by food and people who appreciated food. On the weekends, my parents would drive us to Little Ethiopia or somewhere just to try different types of food. And so I'm lucky that I've been around people who appreciate food and who can cook, like both my grandmothers, my mom. I mean, I feel like this is a common story. You grew up with a family who loves food. You really wanted to get into it. But I was like, no, I'm going to do this. Like, this is what I would like to make my money doing.
And those early days of chasing food stories, did you go beyond being like, this is a new restaurant opening up? Were you trying to show that food was an entryway to tell a different type of story, or to get a different perspective, or to get people open up in a way that just going at something directly wasn't, providing those types of answers?
I think that's always the goal, is to kind of not go the traditional route. But yeah, even like my thesis in grad school was I made a whole website devoted to like food in LA, but it covered everything from cooking to new restaurants to community gardens. So I was trying, and the whole website was that. There was like Q&As and different interviews and stories and profiles, and so I was hoping that would be a good showcase of my work for when I went out into the workforce. But yeah, I think that's always the goal, to try and not do the obvious thing.
Now, you came to the LA Times a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm really old.
No, I wouldn't say old, but you've been there for almost a decade?
Yeah, this July will be 10 years.
Obviously, the LA Times is one of the most influential newspapers in America. How did you wind up there? How did you get your foot in the door?
So, when I got out of grad school, it was 2010, and all my professors, everyone, they were telling us, the whole class, they were like, no matter how good you are, who you are going to be freelancing. There are no jobs in journalism. Journalism is going down the toilet. Like, thank you for paying us all this money for this amazing school. But
final lesson.
Yeah, final lesson.
The check has been cashed.
Exactly. You probably won't get a job. And I was like, fuck. And so I had already planned my first trip to Europe to go visit a friend who was living there. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to go to Europe. But before I did, because I'm very type A, I had a spreadsheet and I applied to like 50 jobs.
Great.
Like things from being a copy editor at Shoe Dazzle, like Kim Kardashian's shoe thing when it first started, to like anything. But one of those jobs was a web producer at the LA Times. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to get this job at the LA Times, like right out of grad school. But I applied anyway. I applied along with these 49 other jobs. And the week I got back from Europe, I got an email from someone there, and they were like, hey, we liked your resume. Like, so then we scheduled like a 2-hour phone interview. And then I went in for an interview, and then they offered me a job.
That's amazing.
And I was like, what is happening right now? So I started as a web producer in the fashion and book review section. So I wasn't related to the food section yet when I first started. And then like my second month, I was like, hey, you guys, but that's the thing with that place, because that wasn't exactly the job I wanted. Because so you were basically organizing and helping produce web content, but most of it was helping produce other people's web content. So it wasn't a ton of writing. But my mom was like, just get your foot in the door and then kick it the fuck open. So I was like, okay. So I got there, I was doing my job, and I was like, hey, to the image editor at the time, I was like, hey, you guys don't have a ton of celebrity fashion stuff. Like, I've noticed something like a frugal fashion thing might work. And then they gave me a Sunday column like in a couple months. So I was fortunate enough to work with people at the Times who like would actually give me a chance.
Big thing.
Yeah, and who were like, and wanted to mentor me. And then, then I was confident enough to be like, okay, I'm going to start writing stuff for entertainment. Or, hey, Russ Parsons, who was the food editor at the time, like, you don't know me, but can I please write anything for food? I was like, I'm a huge fan of the food section. I sit around the corner from you. You've probably never seen me, but like, I'm going to take you to lunch. He let me take him to the cafeteria downstairs. And then he was like, okay, go write about the Orange County Food Fair. Amazing. And then it started from there. And then I just,
So the advice you would give to people is put the foot in the door.
Yes.
kick the door the fuck in, and then just ask and ask and ask. Yeah.
Again, yes, they can say no, but like just ask, because he's not. I mean, the person you need something from is not going to know magically that you want to do something for them. Absolutely. Or that you can do something for them. I mean, you have to ask. You have to put yourself out there and ask. Again, be uncomfortable.
Super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's nothing, that moment right before you ask for something that you may not get is a very, very uncomfortable.
It's terrifying. But sometimes it pays off.
So the stories that you were pitching early days in the food world, what were they? What were the stories that you thought needed to be told that weren't being told in 2010?
So in 2010, I feel like the LA Times was going through something called digital first, which I think people would argue we're still, moving towards. But they were really into, obviously telling good stories, but obviously traffic. Like, I feel like, so a lot of so I was doing stuff on new restaurants, like stories I wanted to do, back then. I don't think it was 2010. I think it was a little after. But like Joseph Centeno was making such a huge mark in downtown LA.
I remember even from living in New York, hearing about Lazy Ox, Baca Marquette, and being like, what is going on?
Yeah, the guy is wicked talented. Yeah. He's so smart. He has good instincts. And he was turning, 4th and Main, the old bank district in downtown LA, into a food hub, like into a place that people actually wanted to come to eat at. And people who didn't come to downtown, or people on the West Side, were like, I'm going to go downtown to go eat at Baco Mercat.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to tell this guy's story. So I pitched a story following him around as he went to his different restaurants, kind of like a day with Joseph and what he's doing to downtown and why. So I felt like that was a good story to tell. But then I would also have to balance that with riffing off the news. Like, I don't know, some study came out that Oreos were as addictive as cocaine. And that has my byline. You know what I mean? So it was like a balancing act of like telling stories that were important that I really wanted to tell, but also this other stuff that was like super entertaining, but not
driving traffic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
And how has that shifted over the years as you've grown in the ranks? Now you're the senior food writer. But not only that, the shift in food culture and what people want to read out of food has changed in the last decade.
And thank God for that.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
But what are the stories you like to cover now? What's like your, I don't want to say perfect is such a terrible word, but like, what is your ideal story that you can put in the newspaper that you're like, this is important?
Well, one I did recently, I was super proud of writing about just the restaurant industry in LA and how hard it is. And because what happened was I talked to a lot of chefs and they tell me, we don't know what to do. Labor's going up, cost of food is going up. We're going to have to put an iPad on the table and fire all the servers. Or, you know what I mean? Or we're going to have to raise the price of something by 30% and then no one's going to want to come in just to stay open. Not that they're getting rich. This is just to stay open and not have to cut their salary again. And then I was talking to diners who are like, everything is so fucking expensive. Like, we can't afford to eat out anymore. And I was like, this is creating, I was like, oh my God, in 10 years, it's just going to be chain restaurants. And it's going to be miserable. And it's going to be hard for someone, an independent chef who doesn't have huge pockets behind him or her to do anything creative or to do anything or just to survive. So I talked to a ton of people, a ton of chefs, diners, and just to try and see like what was happening and kind of just like be like, all right, this is why it's so hard to run a restaurant in LA, and hopefully open diners' eyes to what's happening on the restaurant side and open up restaurateurs' eyes to what diners are thinking.
So you're using your articles to not just inform but to also create conversation.
Yes.
And have people say like, hey, there is a larger economic story going on. It's essentially telling a larger story, but through food.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal. Can't always do it, but that's always the goal. Yeah.
Because sometimes you do need just those restaurant listing openings.
Sometimes you do, and even if I'm just doing a list on where to get the best X or where to eat in the South Bay, it's like I'm hoping someone goes, oh my God, I didn't know that restaurant was there, and goes, or hey, actually there are good things to eat in this neighborhood, or whatever it is. But yeah, I'm always hoping to spark a little bit of a conversation.
Yeah, well, we're going to take a little break. We're going to come back and talk about some of those lists, especially fried chicken, maybe a little bit of dumplings. Okay. You're listening to Snacky Tunes. We have a song from the archives here on heritageradionetwork.org. welcome back to Snacky Tunes. We are with Jenn Harris, senior food writer and video host at the LA Times, and one of the lists, or one of the curatorial things you're known for, is fried chicken.
Yeah.
Which I know has been talked about before, but I'd like to go back a little bit and talk about when you first remember fried chicken and when it entered your life, and maybe a little bit about the importance of what it means to you personally as a dish.
So, my chicken origin story is twofold. it's but both family oriented. I grew up in Pasadena, and my Chinese grandma was in Monterey Park, and I saw her all the time. And a lot of times she was the one watching my sister and I, and she would take us to all these little cafes in the San Gabriel Valley. And she would order stuff like the congee, which I love now, but I was like, that is some weird rice soup. Like, I don't want to eat that as a little kid. But on most of these menus, they always had chicken wings, like fried chicken wings. And so I started to just order those every time because that was safe and comforting for me. And then I just kind of became addicted to it. But at the same time, I mean, now I love to eat everything, obviously, but there's just this inherent comfort in a plate of chicken wings for me. At the same time, my mom cooked a lot when we were little, and one of the dishes she would make all the time was fried chicken. And she did it where she had the flour in a bag, and she would shake it, and she would just fry it in a shallow pan, and it was delicious. And that was on the regular rotation at the Harris household. And so between that and the chicken wings, I was getting fried chicken a good amount, and I was just obsessing over it. But I think in high school, I actually started to seek it out outside the home and outside of the restaurants my grandma was taking me to.
Do you feel like you were cheating on your mom and your grandma?
It definitely was. Definitely. But they were okay with it.
You'll always be my number one.
Exactly.
But I need a little side chicken.
Exactly. I need more chicken. Yeah.
So it seems to be tied up in nostalgia, but also flavor and things like that.
It's the perfect food.
It is pretty perfect.
Yeah.
You've also written a lot about it.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to read all the articles.
Oh my God, how many do I have?
I only went back 2 years, and there's the new Szechuan hot chicken, Food Bowl this week fried chicken, Lucky Bird is launching a fried chicken breakfast, a food festival devoted to chicken wings. I mean, Nashville hot chicken. I mean, I was like, oh, maybe I can find a few, and I was like, okay, I get the point. But what is the story that fried chicken is telling? And what are you trying to show by these different people who are making fried chicken as the same conversation starter as you did with maybe the restaurant economies and things like that?
I mean, I think it depends on the chicken. I do think chicken is the great unifier, fried chicken, just because so many different cultures have some variation of fried poultry, whether it's Japanese karaage or Korean fried chicken wings or Southern fried chicken or hot chicken. For instance, hot chicken. I did that story on hot chicken getting so popular in LA because I feel like a lot of people didn't know where hot chicken came from or who invented hot chicken. A lot of people making hot chicken have never been to Nashville, and again didn't really know what it was. They saw the lines at Howlin' Ray's and were like, oh, we got to do that. So I thought it was important to tell the story of where hot chicken came from, but also why it's so popular in LA now and who's making it. But I think fried chicken for a lot of people is nostalgia. It's comfort food. And I think now we are reaching peak fried chicken in LA. I feel like there's just so much chicken, whether it's actual fried chicken restaurants or restaurants that are not known for fried chicken, putting a fried chicken sandwich on the menu. Like Sarah and Sarah at Kismet have an amazing fried chicken sandwich that's off menu. But that restaurant is not a fried chicken.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, son of a gun.
Yeah.
There are so many great restaurants making fried chicken. So I think it's always been popular. I think it's always been a comfort dish for people. But I think the real boom hit when hot chicken came to LA and everyone lost their minds.
Yeah, and shout out to Johnny and Amanda.
Yeah.
Everyone in Howland, but I think people saw dollar signs too.
Of course they did.
They saw dollar signs, and they saw that as oh, maybe this is a way to make some money.
Yes.
You have a show coming out dedicated to fried chicken and the stories behind it called...
I do.
And I've said this to you in person, and I'll go on the record, The Bucket List. And when I heard... Because I knew about the show before I knew about the name, and then I heard the name, and I got creatively jealous of it being like the most perfect name and pitch
Yay.
for a show about fried chicken.
Yay, thanks.
But how did the show come to be? What made you want to take your journalistic approach into video as well?
I'm a goofball. I like doing videos. It's fun for me. But this show came about because everyone around me at work, they were like, Jen, you do a lot of chicken stuff. And I was like, yeah. And at the same time, it's kind of the perfect storm where at the same time we were starting to, we have a new editor, Peter Meehan, who's
Shout out,
fantastic.
Peter.
And Pete is like someone where you give him a crazy idea and he doesn't automatically say no. He's one of those people who lets you explore different things and is very supportive and awesome and obviously has the best ideas himself. So it was kind of him coming on board, us as a paper investing more in video, like my colleague Lucas Kwan Peterson, who was also on your show.
Go to the archives. Peter was also on for the LA Lucky Peach.
Nice, yeah.
R.I.P.
I know.
Every day I shed a tear.
Literally every day.
But go to the archives, listen to both of them.
Yeah. And so Lucas has his amazing show Off Menu. And so I was like, okay, I would like to do a video series. And what do I love more than anything? Fried chicken. But also in LA, again, and I feel like the show is something that it's like you'll watch it, you'll learn something that you didn't know about fried chicken. And I hope you will love it even more. So yeah, it's all about the best fried chicken in Los Angeles and beyond, and who's making it.
And how did you curate this list? How did you narrow down the stories you wanted to tell and the fried chicken you wanted to feature?
It was hard. It's still hard. We're just finishing it up right now, and because there's so much great chicken in LA, and there's so many great people making it that I had a really hard time narrowing it down to 10. So I'm hoping that it's a good variety of types of chicken, places, and people. But there's always more. Hopefully there's a season 2.
I'm sure there'll be a season 2. How does exploring one type of dish across different cultures, different people, different cuisines, how does it help you tell about those people and draw parallels between those people?
I think naturally you find similarities. I mean, as long as you ask the right or wrong questions, I feel like you'll find something new. But there's just so many different kinds.
What have you found in the show as some of these similarities of people who make fried chicken and make it their business?
That they like to guard their secrets.
Sure.
That it's something very personal though. Each person I talk to has like a very unique story behind why they do what they do and how they do it. So that fried chicken is a very personal thing. And for most people I talk to, it's a really great way for them to connect with other people or their larger community.
Have you been inspired, or what's the most inspiring moment that you found by doing this show?
I've had a lot of them.
Give me one.
I think, so there's an episode all about fried chicken sandwiches in LA, and we visit Shad's new Cali catering truck. I don't know if you've heard of it. The chef, Michael Lawless, he was just making fried chicken and other like gumbo out of the side of his house in the South Bay. And then he just kind of created a business for himself doing that via Instagram. And just kind of like, but literally just like, this is like the best entrepreneurial success story. He just did it all himself. He got really popular on Instagram, saved up enough money, and bought a food truck, and just works really fucking hard making the best fried chicken. His fried chicken is the closest I've come to Willie Mae's in New Orleans.
Wow.
Like, it is so good. And he is so humble about it and just like really respects the craft of making fried chicken, and just now is going like bananas with this food truck and makes an incredible sandwich. And so I feel like he's just a really good success story.
And I don't want to say placing judgment, but there's always this thing of like people doing something for the right reason. Is that part of what helps maybe take fried chicken from just being like a product to a story you want to share?
I mean, yeah, sure, I I don't want to speak for him, but I'm sure one day he'd like to get rich, but I don't, like, he's doing it because he loves it.
Sure.
And you can tell by the ingredients he uses, how he does it, how long it takes. I mean, you order your sandwich and you're going to get it 40 minutes later because he will not start it until you order it. He, like, takes a lot of pride in what he does.
That's what Princess does as well.
Exactly.
They say we don't put the chicken in the fryer, we put the money in the register.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like people who take pride in what they're doing, you can tell when you taste it, and it's amazing and it's fun to watch.
It's amazing. Speaking of watching, you have another show.
Oh God, yeah.
I Can Make That. And I saw, I believe, the first episode with, shout out to Jazz Burger at Jitlada. How did that show come about?
So I love to try. I just do that on my own. I like to recreate restaurant dishes or just stuff that I've had out. I just try and make them at home with no recipe. That's how I like to spend my free time. It's super nerdy. My boss at that, so Peter was aware of this. Andrea Chang, who's the deputy editor, who's also amazing, was aware of this because I'd cooked for her before. And Kimi Yoshino, who's all of our bosses at the Times, she was aware of this as well. And so I was putting together some stuff of like some ideas of what I could do. Maybe I could do a little cooking this, and that was one of the ideas I put forward. And they were all just like, yes, they're like, we know you do this all the time anyway. You've cooked for us. We love it. Like, let's just try it.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's one thing I always want at 2 a.m. when I can't get it? It's that Jazz Burger.
Oh, yeah.
So I just, so I tried to make it, and I tried to make it a lot of different ways. And it's not quite Jazz's burger, as you can see from the video, yes. But it's a damn good burger.
And she's pretty happy with it.
She was happy with it. Yeah. She eventually said she loved it. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to ask one last question before we're out of time, and this is about your curation of LA dumplings, which
hot topic.
It's a hot topic,
yeah.
And it's something very, very near and dear to me. But this question gets asked a lot of when you are staring down the chasm of LA with seemingly an endless variety of food, especially the dumpling. How do you approach and curate that list? Because it seems, because you go from Koreatown, you go to the SGV, you could literally just do Monterey Park and have a list of,
of course.
10 places. But what is that approach? What is that approach to when you're curating, and you can use dumplings as an example, because I personally just wanted it.
Well, Darren, that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. It was difficult. But again, like with everything, I want to make sure that it's a good variety and that there's a little something for everyone. So with the dumplings, and even now, I am regretful that I didn't have momos on there. Like, that keeps me up at night. And I think I will eventually update the article with some momos. But yeah, I was really trying to, like, I wanted Georgian kinkali on there. I wanted all types of dumplings that are delicious to eat. So I just wanted to get all over the city and eat a bunch of dumplings. But it was about having a little bit of something for everybody.
I love it. Well, Jen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If people want to watch the show or follow you online or see where you eat, where can they go?
So if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, it's at Jen_Harris_. And then
how many R's and how many S's?
2 R's, 1 S.
How many N's?
2 N's.
People gotta know.
Yeah, I know. They gotta know. Yes. There is a Broadway actress with my name, so hence the underscores.
Yes.
And then latimes.com/food for all our articles. And then please go to our new YouTube channel, like, subscribe, watch everything, share. youtube.com/LATimesFood.
And what should they do with the like button?
You should smash it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shout out to LA Times. We have another song from the archives and then a live performance here on Snacking Tunes on heritageradionetwork.org.
bunch I try to buy you lunch. Never been a shopper for groceries, liquor, and chips. The city is a pool that's gone dry. Dive and try not to die. Living the American dream of blankets and sheets. Wake up and roll over. If you care, somebody's there. Come around, please comply. Gilded wishes from Appetite. Six chamber long bus ride. Get in now. Come around, please comply. Gilded wishes from a copper guy. Six chamber long bus ride. Get in now. And falling hard on the symbol.
This episode is brought to you by Roberta's, home of Heritage Radio Network for 10 years. Roberta's was founded in Bushwick in 2008 and has become one of the most iconic restaurants in the country. HRN made its home inside of Roberta's in 2009, and together they have become part of the DIY fabric of the neighborhood. Roberta's, the pizza restaurant, is open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week and serves much more than just the famous wood-fired pizzas. Their team dreams up new salads, pastas, and sandwiches on the regular. Roberta's Tiki Bar is alive and well in the back garden, serving up frozen drinks in the summer and hot toddies in the winter. Stop by the bakery and takeout spot next door for fresh breads, sticky buns, and pizzas to go. And of course, there's the 2 Michelin-starred Blanca tucked away in the garden for truly daring diners. But Roberta's also extends beyond Bushwick, with multiple locations in New York City and now in Los Angeles. You can also find their frozen pies in grocery stores around the country. The spirit of Roberta's, like Heritage Radio Network, is everywhere. Here's to many more years of pizza-powered radio. Learn more about Roberta's at robertaspizza.com.
So we got Hands in the studio.
Yeah, and we also have our good buddy Paul Tao, who's playing that, and our good buddy Matt Goldman, which makes this the most LA edition of Snacky
And can we
Tunes.
say what's up to Nikki, even though she's not here?
Oh yeah, where's Nikki?
Having dinner.
Boring.
What?
Yeah, seriously.
All right, whatever. So Hands was introduced to me by Paul, actually, at South by Southwest. He was like, come see my friend Sean's band. And I was like, oh, all right. I'm like, cool, whatever.
Hold on, but you know, year in, year out, South by SMJ, Paul's the most impeccable taste of all bands.
Right. Keep eating. So,
was that moonshine?
Yeah, was that moonshine? The whole band has now tried original moonshine, and we've all got the sweats
Thoughts?
on.
What are you guys think? Good?
Yeah, I'm
sweating.
It's something else. Strong. I'm growing.
No, it doesn't.
It's really easy to drink.
That's the problem. Yeah. That might be the problem. But it was afternoon showcase, and I loved it. And then I pretty much harassed Sean, be like, yeah, this year's showcase. It was I don't remember. It was like that some random bar. Do you remember what the name of the bar was? Like afternoon show.
Shangri-La? No. It was
the other show.
It was a tropical one because it was a Hit City USA party.
Yeah.
Oh, Headhunters.
Headhunters.
Oh my God, Headhunters. You know, Headhunters is like predominantly like a really cheesy metal bar.
Not that afternoon. It was predominantly
such great
awesome.
bands like Austin's favorite Oklahomos have played there.
A crowd.
It gets real.
It gets real. So, and then since then, I was like, we should really try and get this band.
Who wants some sweetbreads?
We should really, yeah.
Dig on in, people.
Sweetbreads are thyroids from which animal?
It's the thymus gland from the. It's like usually like veal sweetbreads. Like it's like a calf.
And Han steps up to the mic with the correct answer.
Oh my god, yeah, these are delicious.
Trying to conduct interviews here.
So, Hans, let's talk to you about what you're all about.
So, these guys got him from LA.
You met them, and
no, they got him from LA today. Correct?
Indeed. No, we got here from Florida.
Yeah. Oh, so have you been on the road?
We've been on some roads.
We've been in the air.
Hard-hitting questions.
Yeah,
we're in the air.
Oh, so it seems like you've been away from home. Are you on tour?
No.
What was in Florida?
We played DeLuna Festival.
What is that?
It's a festival on the beach.
Yeah, it was just music fest.
It's the sandals only.
Oh yeah,
no shoes.
Sandals only.
No shoes, no shirts.
Right.
No shoes, no shirts.
No shoes, no shirts.
Lots
all
of dice.
Yeah,
It's the panhandle. So
Yeah.
Who
Was it good?
played? Oh, you said Wallpaper played, right?
Yeah.
Wallpaper.
Yeah,
Who's on their way?
Right.
He is on his
yeah.
way.
Ricky Reed.
Ricky Reed.
All right, so talk to us about Hands. How would you guys form? How would you guys meet? What you're all about?
Okay, so Ryan and I, this is Jeffrey from Hands. I sing
Welcome.
and other stuff. Yeah, Ryan and I went to high school together in Princeton, New Jersey about a million years ago.
Record Exchange, right?
And
Right.
yeah, thank you, P-Rex up in the fucking house.
Thank you.
So then we moved out to
Hoagie
Los
Haven?
Angeles.
Whatever.
Yes, yeah, this guy's got
Keep going.
incredible education up here. Then we moved to Los Angeles because we
Terrace Club.
hated Philadelphia.
You guys go to Terrace Club back in the day?
No.
Was that before you? You know,
Probably.
Princeton University? Whatever, some rock coalition there. Anyway. Scene points.
Right? Yeah, no, that's at least 11 points. Then we moved to Los Angeles and did nothing for a couple years except maybe scored a couple films and wrote some acoustic crap. And
Wait,
then,
hold on. You scored films?
Scored a couple babes.
Yeah.
What film?
Scored a couple of film babes.
We did a documentary actually about the extinction of redheads.
Gingers?
Gingers.
Is that like a real documentary?
Yeah, well, it was a friend of ours did it as a grad student at USC.
That sounds like a bad South Park episode.
It was great. It was a good South Park episode.
Is it true?
It is kind of true, actually.
What's
I mean,
Does it take two gingers to make a ginger?
it doesn't, but it helps. It definitely helps.
Matt Goldman adding color commentary.
Yeah, no, I'm glad.
So wait a second. You hold on, I have to imagine the
deal with redheaded ginger.
Like, what is it like to score a film? Because not a lot of people get to do that. That's a pretty insane thing.
Yeah, I mean, the other actual film we did was an independent called Less, that was directed by a guy named Gabriel Diamond, who's kind of tight in the crew of what's her name? She did Me and You and Everyone We Know.
Okay.
Miranda July. Yeah, it was.
Oh, what's that genre called? Sweatercore?
Yeah, exactly.
Sweatercore.
Fucking weirdo core.
I'm serious. That's the name of the genre. It's called Sweatercore.
Yeah, and it sounds about right.
Very post-shoegaze.
Yeah, and it was interesting.
It's funny because no one watches the movie because they're just looking at their feet. Anyway.
Do you have sound effects?
Wait, here it comes. Throw it on, Jack. This episode is not going to be brought to
That's
you
not
by
what I was looking
Original
for.
Moonshine.
Yeah,
Can you tell?
maybe we should have started. So you're scoring films.
So yeah, we did Less. It was a blast. We got to pretend that we knew what we were doing.
How'd it turn out?
It turned out good. I mean, we actually premiered at the Sunset Lemley like this past year, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's no small thing.
No, it was cool. They actually
and they ended
for
up
this
using
festival. It was a music festival that they
was a
premiered
film
it with.
festival.
Yeah, film festival. I'm sorry. And they contacted us like 3 days before the festival and asked if they could use the trailer music for the entire festival. So our music for the film ended up being the theme song of the whole
That's amazing.
film festival. It was a really, when he sent that email, I was just like, wow. Like,
Isn't that a good moment when you're like, I think we did something good, and everyone's like, we love what you've done.
Yes.
And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's just nice to be like, we're gonna do this thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we believe in it, and then people are like, we love what you've done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we loved the guys. I mean, from the get-go, it was kind of like we dug their aesthetic. The film seemed pretty cool, and we were totally down.
So you're in LA, scoring films, scoring babes, and how'd the band come about?
Okay, so fast forward a couple years, we have a good friend Xander, who plays in a extremely good band, Pepper Rabbit. If you don't know them, check them out.
Pepper Rabbit?
Pepper Rabbit.
Okay.
Yeah, another rabbit band.
Is it one R in the Pepper and the Rabbit share?
No, no, it's just straight old Pepper Rabbit, Salty Bunny.
Traditional.
And
it's a traditional non-R sharing band.
He's like, you know, good friends with many an LA musician, specifically a band called called Local Natives.
Oh, big fan of Local Natives.
Shout out to Ryan
right?
and crew.
They're all
Who
they're
we
all
met-
super nice.
Ryan et al., who we met through Matt this summer.
There you go. Yeah, and they're the nicest guys.
Small world after all, am I right?
We ended up at a party, I think, somewhere, and I met Sean, our drummer, and then 2 weeks later at a local Natives party, like handed him a demo and was like, "Yo, if you like this, let's hang out and jam." We met Alex on Craigslist. Yes,
Were you just,
that's right.
Okay,
That's right.
What was the post?
Yeah, please.
Looking
Foot
for
massages.
Yeah, I was gonna say looking for somebody with liberal foot massage.
2 tickets to Local Native show, free, topless.
Right, exactly. We basically just wanted a human like horse that we could ride around.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So no, actually, we were looking for a bassist, and somehow the first bassist who walked through our door, thanks to Mr. Craig and his list, was this guy over here.
Can I tell you
Alex
something?
Daniloff.
I met Craig.
Oh my god.
I met Craig at this weird. This is back like when Money Still existed for events, and there was some weird party in Midtown. I met Craig. Totally non-descriptive Jewish dude. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Millionaire.
Why don't we get a song?
Yeah, let's get a song.
Let's get a song.
What, you don't like that story?
No, the story was really good. It was almost as good as the shootout from earlier today.
Hey, I met Craig.
I mean, no, seriously, it's like he's a real person. It's, you know. Anyway, all right, so let's play a song.
And his name's Craig. Can we?
No,
it is
legitimately,
actually Craig.
like someone was like, "Hey, this is Craig," and they went from Craigslist. All right, so we're gonna play a song. What's the first song we got up?
Warm Night Home.
Yeah,
Was it?
It's gonna be Warm Night Home. We
Warm
actually
Night Home.
just released this as a single last week, so
Is this an exclusive?
download the internet.
Download the internet on such blogs as All of Them and Hype Machine.
Right, exactly.
.com.
Okay, all right, so here we go. Live with Saki Tunes.
Am I home? Am I dead? In my free time, can I go where I want
awesome.
Woo! It's quite sweaty in here.
I wish that air conditioner.
I mean,
No,
dude, that AC can't combat that whiskey.
Moonshine.
Moonshine.
Yeah, no, there's nothing down about that.
So talk to us about what the LA scene is like these days. How you guys, we know a lot about the New York scene.
Hard hitting questions.
Yeah. East Side.
Yeah.
East Side?
East Side.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know much about the LA scene.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, we moved to LA, like I said, 4 years ago, Ryan and I, and had no idea really what, getting into venues, or we just didn't know what we were doing. And it turns out all the venues basically are on the East Side, save a few. And the few that aren't are like, kind of bigger. Troubadour, Palladium, stuff like that on the west side of LA.
Favorite place to play?
Favorite place to play? I'd have to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it was. I know. I actually feel like that was one of my favorite shows. Was back in November with Naked and Famous at school night. That was.
Just saw Naked and Famous this weekend. They're amazing.
That was a really special
I was
night.
going to say really quickly that sounded like the band said that, and the band did not say. Matt said that. Yeah, it's a joke because Matt does that.
Matt Goldman adding color, best color guy in the biz.
Matt Goldman's going to shut up now, and the band can respond to their own questions.
Can I say I wish I had more pizza?
I mean, there's some beer left. I think all the moonshine's gone.
Is the moonshine gone?
No, there's a little cuppy.
Oh no, dude! What's going on right there? Is that bottle empty?
That bottle, I think hands decimated it.
We did
their
not.
Hands all over this
We did
moonshine.
not. We did not.
I probably don't need more than 3.
I mean, you are so. I mean, can I get a how red is he?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're glowing. Actually, you are Rudolph's nose.
So all right, so hold on. Can I say?
Stop.
Best late night taco place in LA.
Late night.
Oh, good. I'm gonna go to Sean on that. We're deferring.
Matt says it's not hard. Hands.
I mean, I don't know.
Let's see. Let's go to the board. What do you got?
I think we could all answer in the same zone. El Flamin' Taco.
El Flamin' Taco.
What do you? What's the order? It's like 2 a.m. You just played a show. You're wasted. You're tired.
El Flamin' Taco.
No, but what's the
I know.
order?
What are you ordering?
What are you ordering?
Here's
Whatever. I never remember.
Here the jam.
That is actually the correct answer.
Yeah. Let's go to the board. Cannot remember order. That's 100 people. What do you order?
It's about their al pastor. They do legit al pastor with the all the meat on the spit, and they carve it off. It's good.
I love it when someone's like a little crusty, like a little burn. You know what I mean? And what else is late night eating? What do we got going on in LA? I mean, Pink's is sort of.
Yeah.
It's not good. I don't know why there's a lot.
What else? What do we got? What's the late night food spot?
You see, what's sad is there aren't all that many. I end up sadly at like fast food.
No,
super drunk.
Like In and Out.
I do Thai.
Yeah,
That's closed.
Thai or
yeah,
Korean.
and they close at 2.
Thai or Korean.
Yeah, Thai or Korean. There's a faux place near us that's not good, but they're open 24 hours.
Oh, it's a faux show.
It's faux city, but they are faux show, not that good. Yeah.
What about during the day?
We're just chugging along here. It's not.
I'm a big fan of Park's barbecue, the Korean barbecue.
Oh yeah. He
Yeah?
actually had a party catered by them.
It's pretty.
No, that was
Yeah, the Korean barbecue place.
that was my 26th.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I feel like
what
that's.
did they provide for you?
That's what it was.
Bulgogi.
Bulgogi, yeah.
Pork
belly.
Yes.
Do they provide all those like really fun little kimchi things?
Oh yeah. Whatever you want. They got it all. That was.
Hold on a second. Let's switch this up. So I saw you guys in South by
What do you
Southwest.
mean? This is a great food banter.
No, it's a great food banter. I saw you guys South by Southwest. You guys are out here. It's weird to say this, and like I don't want to like
Fan out, do it.
Not in the fan out, but like you guys seem to like be growing with each month that I've seen you guys. You get a lot of support from Matt Goldman providing color commentary.
I know that
here.
guy.
MFG.
Paul Tao and everything. So it's like, how do you feel that entering into CMJ? Is this your first CMJ?
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you guys feel entering into it?
Lucky.
Do you feel that you could be the darlings of CMJ this year?
I would love to do that. Quite honestly, I mean, it's hard.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
get real.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
I'm 2 drinks away from crying, so let's talk about real things.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. No, I mean, it would be idiotic for me to say that we make music with the intention of being anything but like, something people really care about.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
that's just the way it is.
I can say this as like an outsider observer. Like Paul brought me to see you guys. I know Matt has had you guys booking, and I keep seeing you guys around. So it's like kind of like if there was like a GOP type of situation of running
GOP?
for like the running parties. Like there's a bunch of candidates for the Darling. Hans is with me.
Yeah,
you are off on a moonshine haze. What we're trying.
So we're like the Herman Cain.
Yeah. More like the.
Would you rather be the Romney or the Bachman?
Or they might be the Herman Cain.
That's an unfair question.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, man.
But I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's an interesting thing. It's like heading into your first CMJ. You guys have a lot of stuff behind you. It's like, how do you feel about it?
I'm very interested to see how it goes. I'll say that. I mean, we, played twice yesterday in Florida, had an absolute blast, and hopefully all of our shows go better and better and better.
I heard both Mickey and Donald came out to those shows.
Yes, this is true.
Let's play another song.
Yeah, let's play another song. You heard.
Don't even say I'm cut off. Don't even say. I got squash at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm gonna sweat all out.
We got another song coming up from Hans. What is this song called?
This is actually a song called Brave Emotion that we've never played acoustic, so I hope you enjoy it.
Snacky Tunes exclusive. Wow, 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 wow.
Air horn.
Makes no sense, makes no sense, makes no sense, makes no sense, makes no sense. You're in love again. And it makes no sense, makes no sense, makes no sense, makes no sense, makes no sense. You're in love again. And I wanted to, wanted to, wanted to, wanted to, I wanted to. the sun, making motion to keep in motion, and I hardly enough to live on, and I barely figure to get two done, and I'm making a sinking at the thumb, and I'm pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling, and it's in, oh, 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 oh. If I know you, if I know you, you would roll, oh, 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 oh. And if I know you, if I know you, it would fool you, oh, oh, oh. And it makes no sense.
Whoa, whoa. It's like a stop short at a bus stop.
That never happened before.
No.
We never did that.
Yeah, we've never played that song acoustic before now.
Awesome.
Hey, so Snagging Tunes exclusive.
Yeah.
What is it called again?
Exclusive.
Brave Motion.
Shut up. Look, that's the moonshine.
Yeah.
So we are running low here on questions.
No, we're running great.
and patter, but let's
can I
open
ask
it up.
No, I got a question. So, going into your first CMJ, it's always interesting to think of your mindset. Like, can you be real? Can you be moonshine real?
Yes.
Like, how do you guys really feel? honestly,
can we be moonshine?
No,
real?
I know, but
no, but we're getting moonshine real right
no,
now.
let's get moonshine real. Like,
Okay.
Like, how do you honestly? Like, what do you guys think about? Like, what's going on to this? Like, are you scared? Are you happy?
I will tell you right now, personally, on a percentage basis, like 90% of me is completely petrified.
Okay.
And 10% of me is like, this better be fucking awesome. So,
but you did South by Southwest.
Yeah.
How was
I know.
how is it any different?
Okay.
I was petrified there too. Honestly, it's not like an unnatural fear or anything. I just want to do really well, and I think that we all are in that boat together. That's like what that's what I like about these guys, is I feel like we all really want to do well, and we're never ever like, yeah, that was great, that was perfect.
I think that this is, for me personally, this is a very surreal experience, because if you asked me a year ago if I thought I was going to be flying to Florida and then taking a red-eye flight to New York the next day to have a week full of shows, I would have told you were lying, and that wouldn't happen to me. So it's a very surreal experience, and I feel very lucky to be in this room right now. You know, it's a very, very fulfilling experience.
And I mean, you guys should feel confident enough to enjoy it.
I agree.
Oh yeah, no, we're
You know?
enjoying it.
I mean, you got to enjoy the moment.
Yeah. I think the healthy fear is actually what makes for me as a performer, that's where I live.
I mean, I think that's a good point to bring it to a wrap.
Yeah, should we do one more song?
Yeah, but let's get all the necessaries out of the way. Nuts and
so
bolts.
if I'm on the what book?
The what book?
What do I find?
You're on the
you?
My Face?
My book?
My Face.
Twitter book.
How do we-
So I'm surfing My Face, okay?
Yes.
How
do we find you guys?
And what do I download on My Face?
Okay.
Because let me just say, Hands.
I know.
Not the most Google.
It's not.
band
It's not.
name.
Have you ever wikied hands? Because this is a hell of a lot of information on your hands.
Yeah, let me ask you, as a band that is ungoogleable and unwikiable, was it a conscious decision, or where did the name come from?
I'm sorry, that sounds a little slurred. Can I ask you a question? What is your favorite fact about Hands?
My favorite fact about Hands. I honestly think my favorite fact might be that we met our bassist on Craigslist.
No,
I don't know why.
I actually meant like.
Oh, hands. Oh, everything that we've accomplished as like a society. It's all there. The hands, man.
And how do you feel about people who use their feet as hands?
Fucking idiots. I don't know. What are you doing? Like,
never forget.
Whatever.
Never forget his hands.
No,
I think holding his face right now.
All right, let's get the Twitter website.
Oh, okay, yes. We're everything's Hands Sounds. HANDSSOUNDS.
And
Twitter.com/handsounds.
what are the shows?
MySpace website.
EP is mastered.
It's mastered, and I think we're gonna do a release hopefully early next year. But we did just put a single out. I think I already.
And the single is called?
Spat that out. It's called Warm Night Home.
Which you
and
which you can find on the internet.
You can find it
And
on the
what
internet.
shows? Give us all the deets.
This week we have a ton of shows.
Tomorrow being the best one.
Yeah, tomorrow school night. Matt Goldman.
Wait, let's give a shout out to Matt Goldman.
Yeah,
for a second.
seriously.
How rad is Matt Goldman?
Oh God, I don't think there are enough numbers or letters.
There's not enough adjectives before rad.
Enough synonyms for rad.
Can we announce that? Can you guys talk about what we're doing together at the end of December?
Oh yeah, we're throwing New Year's Eve together at the Ace Hotel.
Awesome. I thought it was still pending. That's good to hear.
Oh, I mean, wait, did I just show my? It's pending. Confirmed.
Oh shit!
And also, unbeknownst to me, Matt Goldman has a clothing line out. Did you guys know this?
Chambers.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
we actually went and played that Mesa thing with Chambers. Yeah.
What type of clothing?
Devin.
Adult diapers. Fantastic.
Adult contemporary.
Adult contemporary diaper. Now, what type of clothing do you have?
It's like a full button-downs, jackets, jeans, shirts. I make the T-shirts. I make the marketing.
Can you dress us? What's up?
I would love to dress
Can
us.
Snacky Tunes be the exclusive
Let me say
internet
this.
radio
I still
show?
haven't figured out exactly when the boxes get delivered because they don't come to my office. And by the time I know, they're like, "Oh, we have to ship it. We'd have none." And they all look really good. Like they have nice clothes on all the time.
Oh.
So I think that they just take it. My
Skimming.
partners.
Is the website Enter 36 Chambers?
It's chambersclothing.net.
Can we talk for hands?
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
Yes.
Wait, can we talk for a second?
Cream.
All I heard was a red light going off and it said, mention website.
Can we just talk for 1 second about Wugazi? Have you guys heard about this?
Yes.
Oh, the mashup.
Yeah.
It's Wu-Tang and Fugazi
That's amazing.
playing at Fun Fest, which we're going to be at. Wait, It's Fugazi. It's Fugazi.
It's not original members of.
Are you?
No, it's all new members of Fugazi and
Yeah.
Wu-Tang. It's none of the people from
It's
that.
none of the people.
Okay, yeah, I was
I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed.
Get me to fun.
We were like, everyone's like, we're booking
One
tickets now.
guy who took Fugazi songs and Wu-Tang songs.
Oh, it's not members of Wu-Tang or Fugazi?
It's Ian McCry. Old Dirty Custard.
All right.
Everyone remembers?
Yeah, the Wizard. He was that black Wizard of Oz. Anyway.
Anyway, all right, so we're going to get one more song on hands.
Fugazi, right?
That's weird.
I mean,
Fugazi's one of my all-time
it must
favorite
be one of
bands.
those
Man.
things. Like when I heard it, I was like, what drugs were you on when you thought this would be perfect together?
It was good enough to get booked at Fun Fest.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the proof is in the paper.
All right.
What do you do?
That sound means that we're ready to play. What are you going to play us on? And what's the name of the song?
Okay, this one's called Forced Fascination.
We're not
Forced.
leaving.
Forced.
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of
Dude,
the
we
classic-
still have wallpaper left.
They're coming.
Dude, no. Okay, so you're gonna end the segment. We're gonna have some more moonshine.
I really hope our parents don't listen to this episode.
Dear Mom and Dad. Hey, Jack, just
If
put.
anything, they're going to understand.
Just put Dear Mom and Dad, don't listen to this episode at the beginning.
The title.
It's the title. Okay, so Hands, Possible Darlings of CMJ, handsome as shit.
Wanna find another. I wanna find about food. We talk about music with musical dudes. Finger on the pulse, snacky tunes.
This program is powered by Simplecast.
Thanks for listening to Heritage Radio Network, food radio supported by you. For our freshest content and to hear about exclusive events, subscribe to our newsletter. Enter your email at the bottom of our website, heritageradionetwork.org. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at heritage_radio. Heritage Radio Network is a nonprofit organization driving conversations to make the world a better, fairer, more delicious place. And we couldn't do it without support from listeners like you. Want to be a part of the food world's most innovative community? Rate the shows you like, tell your friends, and please join our community by becoming a member. Just click on the beating heart at the top right of our homepage. Thanks for listening.